Want my treasure? You can have it. I left everything I gathered together in one place. Now you just have to find it.
Dude. This sucks!
Hello everyone, and welcome to my review for each arc in One Piece. After blue-balling you guys with filler for over a year, we can finally talk about the post-time skip.
Forget 3D2Y. How about a literal 4W1Y?
The first part of One Piece is known as the Super Rookies Sea of Survival. 6 sagas, 23 arcs, 597 chapters, 517 episodes, and 0 progress towards finding the One Piece since 1997 to 2011. This portion of the story told the coming-of-age legacy of our main protagonist, Luffy. Oh, I'm sorry, that's Monkey D. Luffy, and he is gonna be king of the pirates.
He's made of rubber! How did that happen? Well, yo ho ho, he took a bite of gum.
We followed Luffy's journey of speed running the life of a pirate, getting 4 of the most loyal crew members, obtaining the highest bounty in East Blue, heading to the Grand Line and beating a warlord, god, another warlord, while getting 4 more loyal crew members and being responsible for the destruction of 3 government strongholds.
And all of that happened in less than 1 year. Luffy's timeline makes 0 sense.
But since the Water 7 saga, Luffy's journey became difficult as the battles became harder and harder. By the beginning of the Summit War saga, he lost everything, and by the titular Marineford War, he even lost his brother.
To me, the Summit War saga was Oda's way of telling us that the Straw Hats are not ready for the new world and they need to get stronger. Otherwise, Luffy would probably lose to characters like Charlotte Daifuku, Page One, hell, maybe even Virgo.
And so, after a 2-year training arc, the Straw Hats are ready to reunite at Sabaody to begin the New World Saga, the sea where the One Piece is located.
However, the biggest problem with the post-time skip is that it has some of the worst pacing in anime history. Like, for me, I was watching One Piece on a weekly basis when Return to Sabaody first came out, but then I dropped it for years around the beginning of Dressrosa because I just could not handle it anymore.
However, during One Piece's 6-month-long hiatus of the Egghead Island arc, they released a reanimated version of the Fishman Island saga, retelling the story with faster pacing and updated animation.
Today, I'm here to answer the question, is Return to Sabaody better in the remake or the original?
So watch out for imposters, don't miss that concert, and reunite with your friends as we return to Sabaody. The 2-year promise. Return to Sabaody is 5 chapters and 6 episodes. I need to make this clear. One Piece will never be this short ever again. 2 years later at Sabaody, our story starts off in a bar. The bar owner is talking to a girl with very bright orange hair who overhears a conversation about how the Straw Hat Pirates are looking for new recruits. Now's my chance! Screw making review videos. I'm finna find the One Piece myself.
I'm aboard and bring along.
Speaking of the Straw Hats, the bar goes silent as finally, after 2 long years, 4 of the most notorious rookie pirates make their debut. Luffy, Nami, Sniper King, and Frankie chill at the bar and start causing a scene. Whoa! I knew the Straw Hats would be different after 2 years of constant training, but holy shit! Like, I'm glad that Sniper King is finally a part of the Straw Hats. Awesome. But Nami looks like she eats babies. Frankie looks like a Breaking Bad character. And Luffy? Yeah, actually, none of that makes sense. After taking out the trash, Luffy happens to notice the orange-haired girl and asks her to come along.
You can take your offer and shove it, cause I'm way out of your league.
Ugh. It's one of those Nami cosplayers. Let me guess, you also do Robin and Boa Hancock. Plus, I mean, they always do Nami's post-time skip design wrong. Like, hello? This is what she looks like now? For real, Nami attempts to set the record straight, but before she can silence the faker, a long-nosed man summons giant plant monsters to attack the Straw Hats. The Nami cosplayer turns around to her knight in shining armor, only to realize it's our boy Usopp!
Nami's design is just okay. It's just a bikini with jeans, and I do like the long hair, but she is my bias and my queen, so it's a 10 out of 10 for me. Usopp's design is really cool. He's got longer hair, he's buff, and he's got a new weapon. I'm down. He actually looks like a warrior.
Look at you! Those muscles!
Thanks.
Usopp runs away with the fake Nami, and then Luffy leaves the bar swearing to take revenge on his crewmate for betraying the Straw Hats. Just then, a stranger carrying a Luffy-sized lunchbox bumps into our glorious king, who demands an apology. While the monkey might be mad, he's willing to forgive this Luffy-sized stranger if he begs for his life. The rubbery faker gives a half-assed apology. Mr. 400 million doesn't take too kindly to that and attempts to shoot. But somehow, not only does this man, who seems like he trained with Dark King Rayleigh on Amazon Lily for 2 years, dodge the bullet, but he also uses Conqueror's Hockey to take down the Straw Hats and walk away like it was nothing. Guys, I'm not gonna lie, I mean, it's great to see the Straw Hats again, but if they're gonna lose to some nobody after 2 years of constant training, they're not gonna make it to the new world. Meanwhile, over at Grove 47, we actually run into the world's greatest doctor, Tony Chopper. Oh no, he's a marketable plush!
Chopper's design is pretty cool. I love the new clothes, and I really love the new hat. However, I still miss Fat Chopper. Hashtag bring Fat Chopper back.
And it doesn't take long for him to reunite with Zoro, Sanji, and Robin. However, the wholesome reunion is ruined, as Nico Robin has been captured by the world government. Zoro, Sanji, and Chopper decide to look for Luffy. Get ready for Annie's Lobby 2.0. With the news of Robin's capture, Luffy is furious, and Chopper tries to get everyone fired up to fight the zoo animals again. But Luffy says it's best to let her go and not get involved with the government. That might seem fucked up, but I mean, hey, they've already went through hell trying to rescue Robin once. That's on her if she gets caught again. Feeling betrayed by his crew, Chopper alone goes to rescue Robin. Meanwhile, Luffy is locked in on executing those imposters who made him look bad. And with the news of Straw Hat's return, Sentomaru brings the entire G1 Navy and a few pacifistas to take them down. Over at Grove 46, the new recruits of the Straw Hats gather, and among them are some of the most feared pirates of the new generation. Gashed Albion, Lip Service Dowdy, Blood Spatter Korobu, and worst of all, the delusional, God-loving murderer, Wet-Haired Karibo. These are our Nakama! Captain Luffy stands above his new subordinates and tells them that with their help, they'll conquer the new world and make him king of the pirates. During his little speech, Zoro and Sanji bring the gum-gum-looking kid. Luffy decides to make an example and execute the monkey. Just then, the entire G1 Navy surround the pirates, and leading the assault is Sentomaru, armed with his new pacifistas. A war breaks out between the Navy and Straw Hats, as the new recruits do everything they can to impress their king with the promise of becoming the new right-hand man. Overrated!
Too late to surrender now! Oh, damn it, no one said he had a devil fruit power!
How? He has a 200 million berry bounty. Why did nobody tell him he ate a devil fruit? In the middle of the chaos, Luffy runs into Sentomaru and the pacifistas.
I'd run if I were you! You're face to face with the son of Dragon the Revolution!
Confirmed. He is triple-tongued Damato Black.
Well, shit. But I mean, hey, honestly, Damalo Black would be pretty huge in the East Blue. Huh? Every year, 1 in 5 pirate captains succumb to mushroom overdose. Monkey D. Luffy used to be a bright kid with an amazing social circle and just endless potential for his future. However, after a traumatic experience with a robotic Christian bear, things got tough for our rubber freak. If you or anyone you know is suffering from this illness, then please consider joining my YouTube memberships and Patreon for exclusive content, early uploads, badges, emotes, and so much more. Thank you to Dataman21 and Rhett Wright for helping to fight against the cause. Nami explains to everyone that Damalo Black has been impersonating as the Straw Hats for the past 2 years to steal their infamy. Meanwhile, at Grove 33, a concert is going on, and our headliner is none other than our favorite panty-loving, funny bones musician, Brooke the Soul King.
I really like Brooke's new design. I love the scarf, I love the pants, and I love the guitar. But the best thing is that crown and sunglasses. The crown, I mean, he's the Soul King. What do you expect?
I love the fact that everyone spent 2 years training to become stronger, but Brooke spent 90% of his time becoming a rock star. Which honestly, a spin-off series about Brooke's music journey would actually be pretty cool. Before Soul King goes on stage, he informs his manager that this will be the end of his music career. I'm sure he won't freak out and call the Navy. Brooke stands on stage and the crowd erupts as he plays his most iconic songs.
Oh my god, Brooke! Shake your dress!
Before his final song, Brooke lets his fans know the sad news that he'll be retiring after this concert. Actually, I lied. He looks like he's going to jail as the Marines burst into the dome. Thanks to this long-armed snitch, the Navy is aware that not only is Dead Bones Brooke still alive, but that he's now a member of the Straw Hat Pirates. The audience is shocked to hear that Brooke is a notorious pirate, but the music of the Soul King cannot be stopped as the fans fight back against the Marines to let Brooke play.
I don't care that he's a sea terrorist. Bro, I paid $450 for this concert.
The Soul King dedicates his final song to his captain's dream. Ladies and gentlemen, may your ears be blessed by New World.
Copyright's a bitch, huh?
Right at the end of the song, Brooke nukes everyone and runs away to reunite with his crew. You know what? This video isn't horny enough. Let's go check in on Sanji.
Sanji's design is practically the same except the facial hair, and now his hair is parted differently. He used to cover up his left eye, but now he covers up his right eye. And there are more curls to his hair, which I honestly like more.
Finally, after 2 years of running in hell, Sanji's IQ has reverted back to monk as he chases any woman with a pulse.
Viva Sabaody! I need lady!
I'm so sorry, Sanji fans, but our boy has basically reverted back to his old ways in Thriller Bark, and it's only gonna get worse. Good thing I'm a Zoro fan. Sanji goes to Shaki's ripoff bar and is told that ironically Zoro was the first one to arrive on the island, followed by Frankie, Nami, Usopp, Chopper, Brooke, and now him as number 7. Which is why, for the rest of this video, everyone will be referred to by the number of their arrival. Number 7 decides to go out for food supplies and comes across a fish post by the beach, but the fisherman is panicking after a green-haired guy carrying 3 swords falls asleep on a pirate ship headed towards Fishman Island. Number 7 has a sneaking suspicion on who it is and decides to walk away. But just then, the pirate ship from earlier emerges from the water, and the strangest part is the boat has been cut in half, just like back in Baratier. Turns out, the one responsible was none other than the future world's greatest swordsman, Roronoa Zoro, aka number 1.
Now we have my king, Zoro. I love this fit in the manga in particular. I think the scar over his eye looks amazing, but the fit in the anime doesn't hit as hard as it should. Honestly, I'd be okay if he had a different outfit on.
Up next is everyone's favorite archaeologist with the most fucked up sense of humor imaginable, Nico Robin, aka number 8. Imagine being worse than Sanji.
Now, Robin's outfit is pretty cool. I actually really do like the jacket, and I'm not sure what that scarf pants is, but it's doing something primal to my brain. But the one thing I won't forgive is Robin used to be a beautiful, brown, Latina queen. Now she's a white girl. When I catch you, Ricky, how dare they?
Being the only one smart enough to hide from the Marines, she navigates her way to the Sunny to see the absolute super abomination Oda's ever created, the new and improved BF-37 Cyborg Frankie. Oh no, he's a marketable action figure!
Now, Frankie's design is the most radical change from any of the Straw Hats, and I love it. I love the bolder shoulders, I love the robot arms, and I love his ability to change his hair on a whim. That shit is tough.
Number 2 tells Number 8 that the coding is done and they are ready to set sail once everyone arrives. Speaking of which, Number 3 through 5 make it onto the Sunny. 3 and 4 go feral as they watch their mecha dreams come true. And with Number 6 finally making it onto the ship, all that's left is the monster trio. Now reunited after 2 years, Number 7 and Number 1 get into a heated argument like the good old days. However, that gets blue-balled as Number 1 hears a lot of crazy commotion going on at Grove 47. After Sentomaru takes out the Luffy cosplayer, he tells all the pirates that while they may have been deceived by Damalo Black, the real Straw Hat is somewhere in this area. PX5 attacks the kid with the Straw Hat and Luffy-styled clothes. Everyone looks at the guy only to realize it's the real deal. Ladies and gentlemen, Monkey D. Luffy is here. Number 9. Not wasting time, PX5 continues his attack on Luffy. Alright Luffy, let's see what all that training was good for.
So long! So I have a feeling I'm gonna see you again somewhere!
As Number 9 runs away, he also happens to find Number 1 and Number 7, who take out PX7 like it's nothing. Honestly, this is really cool to see just how much the Straw Hats have grown in the past 2 years, cause them going from a 9v1 extreme diff to then a 1v1 borderline neg diff will make any power scaler furiously flick their bean. As they run from the Marines, the monster trio come across Rayleigh. Despite the fact they're seconds away from being captured by the Navy, Number 9 stops to thank Rayleigh for everything he's done these past 2 years. Monkey D. Luffy raises his fists into the air and swears he's gonna do it. Our captain will become king of the pirates after like 1100 more episodes, but he'll get there. After wiping away some tears of nostalgia, the Dark King pulls a Lord of the Rings reference and stops the Navy so the boys can escape. It doesn't stop there, as the Depression Queen, aka Perona, helps them escape from the Marines as well. We also learn she's the reason Number 1 got to the island first. We love a punctual goth girly. Even Heraclean, the Weather Wizards, and the Okamas help the Straw Hats prepare to escape. And now, Number 1, 7, and 9 have made it to the Sunny. But just as one final fuck you, the Navy fires at the Straw Hat ship. No need to fear, the Goon Police are here! As Boa Hancock uses her beauty to confuse the Monkey Marines.
Come clean now! You weren't really training at all these past 2 years, were you?
What else would I have been doing?
Damn, it's not fair.
I feel like if Sanji and Luffy's roles were reversed, then our cook would definitely die. Not just because he unironically would lose to Boa Hancock, but because his Gooner aura would just implode on himself and then create a black hole of degeneracy. And so now, with the Straw Hats together again, Luffy makes the call to set sail as they descend into the deep oceans towards Fishman Island, the gateway to the new world. The remake adapts Return to Sabaody in 2.5 episodes instead of 6. The intro of Luffy leaving Amazon Lily's second island is much shorter, 3 minutes in the original and like 1 minute 30 seconds in the remake. The remake also gets rid of Zoro arriving on Sabaody and shows Sanji meeting up with Rayleigh at Shaki's bar much sooner. Chopper runs into fake Sanji's team, Robin meets up with Frankie, Usopp and Nami take out fake Luffy's team, then Luffy runs into the fake Hats and blasts them with Haki that's way too much. Toei Animations acts like One Piece is Dragon Ball Z with all of the aura and explosions for Haki, when Haki is supposed to be more of an invisible force or shockwave. So in this case, I definitely prefer the original over the remake. The episode ends with Zoro cutting the ship. And that's pretty much 2.5 episodes combined into one. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it's kind of bad. In the remake, there's a clear editing error where Damalo Black is angry at Nami for not wanting to join them, and then immediately cuts to Usopp shooting Chocolat with his pop green, despite the fact there wasn't a moment of Chocolat coming up to Nami with a gun, but somehow she's already there? Like, this remake is clearly just speed running through everything without really taking the time to add suspense and let the viewer digest what's going on. Absolute worst thing this remake did, in my opinion, was cut Brook's song New World. They played a little bit and then let the song play in the background as Rayleigh talked to the Straw Hats, and then it immediately cuts to Brook on the flying fish heading to the Straw Hats. Absolute blunder. Like, they should have kept the song. I mean, not only is it just good, but it's also sort of a song that pretty much represents what the entire arc is about. Pretty much Brook singing about his captain and how excited everyone is to go to the new world and achieve their dreams. And then I really love the part where, like, right when the song is about to end, you see the Marines slowly preparing to fire at Brook, and then the moment he finishes, like, the Marines fire, and then, like, the smoke clears up, and everyone's like, holy shit, where'd Brook go? And then you see, like, oh, he's on the flying fish heading to the Straw Hats. Like, seeing that, like, quick escape was awesome. But the remake got rid of all of that. Finally, Sentomaru takes out Damalo Black and Luffy arrives. They play We Go a bit later into Luffy's reveal, and they show the hockey-infused punch, which I think is bad as it implies he's using advanced Conqueror's Haki. One Piece does have pacing issues, and I know we've all wanted the series to be better paced, but this remake is definitely not it. Like, it just feels like I'm watching brain rot, you know, where they're just like speed running through everything just to get to the good bits, rather than actually taking the time to tell a story. If you or someone you know is watching One Piece for the first time, then I would not recommend you watch this on your first run through. And that's pretty much the return to Sabaody Archipelago. The Straw Hats are back. This was a much needed arc after the Summit War saga, aka Luffy's biggest L. Cause One Piece was too depressing for like 100 episodes, but I understand that it sort of was necessary to sort of force the Straw Hats to realize, hey, we're kind of going through things too quickly, we're kind of a little bit in over our heads, we need to sort of step back and reevaluate everything. I don't mind the initial designs for the post-time skip of the Straw Hats. Frankie's did take a little bit of getting used to, but it does help that he can change his hairstyle. Robin and especially Nami start off as Gooner bait. I love that for Sanji, all he does is just flip his hair and then grows a goatee. Simple as that. I feel like out of all of them, Luffy and Zoro have the best upgrades to their original pre-time skip designs. And if we're talking about upgrades, Usopp? I absolutely love the idea of wannabe pirates stealing the infamy of the Straw Hats while they're gone. Cause I realize we don't really spend a whole lot of time really seeing how the rest of the world views the Straw Hat Pirates and what they've done. Because I feel like to the average person, Luffy is a fucking menace. Like, imagine being a rookie pirate from one of the 4 seas. You make it to Reverse Mountain, and then you see this giant ass whale, and then on its head is just the mark of the Straw Hats. Like, I would call it quits after that. I also love how in both the sub and the dub, the voice actors swap who voices who for the Straw Hats. Although it definitely would have been funny to see what they would try to do for Brook if they knew he was one of the Straw Hats. And then at that point, would they have Robin's voice actor play Brook? All in all, I don't really mind the length of this arc for the 2011 version. I mean, yeah, maybe they could have reduced it by like 1 or 2 episodes, doing like 4 episodes, but the remake's 2.5 episodes, that's way too quick, dude, and they cut out so much stuff, I didn't like it at all. But yeah, that's about it. Let me know your thoughts for the Return to Sabaody Archipelago arc, and if you prefer the remake or the original. thank you guys very much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, the whole YouTube shebang, and I'll see you at Fishman Island. Bye. Oh God, I hate the ocean.
Finally, after 2 long years, the Straw Hats arrive at Fishman Island.
Reuniting with old friends and beating the shit out of new ones.
The king hides a mermaid princess with the power to control the creatures of the sea.
What do you mean Sanji's gooner behavior is important to the plot?
Next time on One Piece, the Fishman Island arc, a fight for equality.
Gotta love punching a racist fish.